This is David Russell, Global Head of Market Strategy for TradeStation. And today we'll look at major events for investors and traders. Stocks continue their advance into record territory as earnings beat estimates and recession fears melt away. The S&P 500 rose almost 1.5% between Friday, February 2nd and Friday, February 9th. It was the 14th gain in the last 15 weeks and the 5th consecutive advance. The index also made history by closing above 5,000 for the first time ever. Investors bought more large technology companies associated with artificial intelligence, especially semiconductors. Other stocks like Walt Disney and Ralph Lauren rallied on strong results. Numbers have improved as earnings season has progressed, according to FactSet. The research firm observed an increasing proportion of companies beating estimates. It also noted that earnings are growing almost twice the pace expected at the end of last year. The economic calendar was light, but supported sentiment. The Institute for Supply Management's Service Sector Index rose more than expected as new orders improved. The Semiconductor Industry Association reported unexpected sales growth in December, and initial jobless claims were lower than projected. Inflation data was potentially benign, with the government revising December's consumer price index lower. Chinese prices also fell sharply as the Asian giant struggles with deflation, which potentially eases global inflationary pressures. Those numbers suggest the economy is maintaining strong growth as inflation eases. In other words, a soft landing is still taking shape. Inflation will be in focus this week because the January Consumer Price Index is due tomorrow morning. Semiconductor developer ARM jumped 62% after AI demand fueled better than expected earnings, revenue, and guidance. The UK-based firm isn't in the S&P 500 and only went public last September, but its results helped lift the entire group. Other chip companies like Monolithic Power and onsemi also beat. Palantir, another prominent tech stock that isn't in the S&P 500, surged 43% after results surprised to the upside. Most important, however, was its 70% revenue growth in U.S. commercial customers. That indicated the company is successfully transitioning from government business to corporate clients. Disney jumped after cutting costs and announcing plans to distribute ESPN through streaming services. It also hiked its dividend. The news gave investors confidence that the media giant finally has a plan to thrive in a post-television world. Traditional retailers advanced on signs the industry has turned a corner after a decade of losing business to e-commerce. Ralph Lauren, for example, beat revenue estimates by 3%. However, earnings were 17% above consensus. That reflected wider margins as management raises prices and tightens inventories. Shipping costs also continue to ease. Will peers report similar improvement in their quarterly results later this month? The group could also be in focus with retail sales due on Thursday. Solar energy stocks bounced after Enphase Energy predicted business will improve next quarter. Chinese stocks also rebounded. Both groups have underperformed by a wide margin over the past year. Companies associated with transportation, including airlines and oil refineries, also outperformed. Those are typically viewed as cyclicals that benefit from stronger economic growth. Safe havens like gold miners, utilities, and consumer staples fell more than 1%. Banks also remained under pressure amid commercial real estate worries. Some potentially positive patterns seem to be supporting the market's advance. First, the S&P 500 began last week testing below its previous high, but rebounded to close above it. The kind of price action, old resistance becoming new support, may reflect an uptrend. Second, the moving average convergence divergence oscillator, or MACD, has been rising. Third, prices have remained above their 10-day moving average. That's potentially consistent with a bullish short-term trend. This week's main events are inflation tomorrow morning and retail sales on Thursday. There are also several Federal Reserve speakers, more earnings and housing data. Arista Networks and Cadence Design Systems report this afternoon. The CPI inflation report is at 8:30 a.m. ET on Tuesday. Coca-Cola, Shopify, and Airbnb are some of the noteworthy earnings. Crude oil inventories are on Wednesday, and Cisco Systems issues results after the closing bell. Thursday features retail sales, initial jobless claims, and homebuilder sentiment. Deere, Applied Materials, Coinbase, DraftKings, and Roku are some of the prominent reports. Friday brings the Producer Price Index, housing starts, and building permits. The market is closed the following Monday, February 19th, for President's Day. Thanks for watching. Please visit tradestation.com for more.